Let's implement the bottom navbar for our app. So the bottom navbar going to be these 4 buttons. So let's implement it. We will come to the rider view section and add a new folder naming bottom nav bar, and add a new file naming bottom nav bar rider.dart. You will go with a stateful widget naming bottom nav bar rider. So for this bottom nav bar, we are going to use a special package. Let's have a look. What is that package? So it's this package, persistent bottom nav bar v2. Here we will return persistent bottom nav bar sorry, that's not going to be, it's going to be persistent tab view. Prints, we will add that later on. Then comes items, which we will again add later on. And then confined in safe area, it's going to be true. And on item selected, here we will pass value, and here it will execute some functions. Okay, I do have to just press enter button to arrange them serially. Okay, on item selected, and then comes up next background color, it's going to be white. Then come next handle Android back button press, it's going to be true. Resize to avoid, it's going to be true. State management, it's going to be true. Then comes up hide navigation, when keyboard shows, it's going to be true. Decoration, we will go with nav bar decoration, and here it's going to be border radius, dot circular 8.sp. So for this sp stuff, we do need to introduce the sizer package. And yeah, let's press enter and arrange that. So, and the color navbar, it's going to be white. So here screens takes a list of widgets, so we will pass screens equals to, so first we do have here is home, service, activity, and then account. Homes, rider home screen, then services, service screen rider, then activity screen rider, and at last comes account screen rider. And here it's going to be a list of widget, and here const and another last const here. Let's save it. There is no action, so we will introduce a comma here. Okay, we do have this 4. So decorations, yeah, decoration, we have introduced the decoration. And then comes up pop all action on tab selected tab, true. Pop action screens, true. Sorry, it's going to be pop action screens dot type all, and then item animation properties const item animation properties duration const duration milliseconds, it's going to be 200. I have to make this C 200. Curve, it's going to be curve dot ease. Okay, I think so that by the time we don't add these items, we are not going like this beautify won't work. So let's just finish up with this. Okay, screen transition animation, it's going to be const screen transition animation transmission true. Curve, it's going to be curve dot ease, and duration, it's going to be the same duration, milliseconds 200. Okay, so at last we do have to go with navbar style, and it's going to be navbar style dot style 6. Okay, now it's time we introduce the items here. So we'll come up here and go with a new list, and the output type is going to be persistent bottom navbar item. So navbar items return, it's going to be a list of persistent bottom navbar item. Icon title active color, it's going to be black, and inactive color, it's going to be gray. So we also do need to introduce a provider here. So we'll come up to controller inside the rider section, go with a new folder, or you can say add a new folder, and we will name it bottom navbar rider provider, and let's add a new file, bottom navbar rider provider dot class bottom navbar rider provider extends change notifier. We'll go with the int current tab equals to 0, update tab. It's a function which will update the current tab. Int new tab, current tab equals to new tab notify listeners. So basically what will happen, whenever this current tab will be updated, it will notify all of the listeners. So it's basically like in XYZ screen, we are in tab number 1, and if the tab changes to 3, then at the same time it will notify all of the listeners, and in every single screen we will be having number like whatever the updated number is. So we will come up here, and here we will pass an int current. So let's add persistent bottom navbar item. So first it's going to be home, the title is going to be home, and the icon here is going to be, so we will introduce a logic here. If current tab equals to 0, it will be Cupertino icons dot home fill, sorry, it's house fill, else it's going to be Cupertino icons dot house. And yeah, it's great. Now let's add commas, copy, paste, and copy this one and paste up here. The argument type, okay, it needs an int, so we will wrap our persistent navbar with a consumer. So what is this consumer? It's going to like have a track like which is the latest current tab. So we'll go with context comma tab provider child, and here in the consumer, here it's going to be bottom nav bar rider provider, and this entire return thing we will just cut from here and paste here. Here we will return, okay, and here it's going to be tab provider dot current tab. I can see there we do have still some, okay. So let's update this. We have house fill house. For the next, we are going to be circle grid 3x3 fill, circle grid 3x3, and here it's going to be services, and next it's going to be square list fill, and here it's going to be square list, and here it's going to be activity, and the last one it's going to be person fill, and here it's going to be person. Let's save this one. And now let's have a look like if we have missed anything. Yeah, controller, so it's persistent tab controller. So let's introduce a persistent tab controller equals to persistent tab controller initial index 0, and let's give the controller here. Let's save it. Now instead of any other screen, we will be going with bottom nav bar rider. Okay, now let's restart our app and have a look. So here we do have an error here. So it's basically saying that we didn't initialize the provider. So what we're going to do, we're going to come to main, and here we will return multi provider child. It's going to be the material app. Control X, Control V, and just comment this out, and here change notifier provider. Here we have to introduce the provider name. It's going to be bottom nav bar rider provider. I think so, this one. Okay, bottom nav bar rider provider, and here it's going to be the same, bottom nav bar rider provider. Let's save this one, and boom, we have our home screen here. On clicking services, we are on the services screen. On clicking activity, we have our trip history, and on clicking home, we do have our account screen. So I think so it should be account instead of home. We will go to the bottom nav bar, view bottom nav bar, and it should be the account. Okay, account. So it's look great. We are in home. The home icon and the home both just pops out with an amazing color. Same goes for all of them.